Flat flashlights are everywhere, but they usually trade in performance for portability. Today, we're digging into the Wurkkos HD01 series, the Standard, UV, and the Pro. I put these to the test in the field to see if they're actually worth it, or is it another feature-packed gadget? Let's get into it. The Wurkkos HD01 comes in the standard packaging we've seen from Wurkkos. Slide up the outer sleeve, and you'll find a plain, unmarked box. Inside we have the user manual, a lanyard, a USB-C charging cable, and of course the flashlight itself. They come in a variety of colors depending on which model you choose. There are 3 different models. The HD01, which features a laser, the HD01 UV, which includes a UV light, and the HD01 Pro, which combines both the laser and UV features into one. Let's go over all the features and highlight some key differences between the models. All of the bodies are made of aluminum. The Pro model features additional styling and grooves that help set it apart. Now let's take a look at the top section, which is where the biggest differences appear. First up is the regular HD01. We get a single main LED with a maximum output of 1200 lumens. The lens looks like a TIR lens, but the beam pattern is identical across all 3 models. And below that we have a green laser. Next is the HD01 UV. Same main LED, same output, but instead of a laser, this one has a dedicated UV light. And lastly, the HD01 Pro. This model includes everything from the previous 2, both the laser and the UV emitter. It's the one to get if you want all the features, but the user interface can feel a bit confusing with so many functions. All models use 2 main buttons on the side of the flashlight. The layout is nearly identical, except on the HD01 UV, the buttons are flipped. Normally, the top button controls the auxiliary lights, and the bottom controls the main LED, but on the UV model, that's reversed. A double click activates turbo instantly. This is the brightest mode at 1200 lumens. Here's me walking with the flashlight to simulate nighttime use. Let's go through the brightness levels. A single press turns on the light, holding the button cycles through each mode. We have low at 20 lumens, medium at 100 lumens, and a very usable high mode at 450 lumens. And here's turbo again, 1200 lumens. Hold down the main light button to access moonlight mode. It's a very low 1 lumen output. To access the strobe, just triple click. It runs on the 1200 lumen turbo mode, and a single click brings you right back. Now let's get the drone in the air for an aerial view of the beam pattern. All tests were done on turbo, at full output. This is the drone at 15 feet. Now 25 feet. Here we are at 50 feet. 100 feet. And finally 200 feet in the air. With the drone back on the ground, let's check out the other functions. Depending on which model you choose, the flashlight will come equipped with the laser. The original HD01 and the HD01 Pro both come equipped with the laser. However, if you choose the HD01 UV, there's no laser. This is a quick look at the laser. As you can see, it's a bright green beam. Now for the side lights. There are a lot of options here, and they work the same way across all versions. To activate the side floodlight, double-click the top button, unless you have the UV version, in which case it's the bottom button. There are 3 brightness levels for the side floodlight. Hold down to cycle through them. Single press to turn the side lights off. Here's what that looks like out in the field. This is on the highest setting. There are also multiple RGB modes. On the side panel, triple click to turn on RGB. Double click to switch through modes. You can pick a solid color, a blinking mode, or hold down to cycle through different colors. There are even preset patterns you can choose from. 4 clicks will lock the flashlight. You'll see the light blink a couple of times, letting you know it's locked. Repeat the process to unlock it. 5 clicks will activate the breathing light effect on the buttons. That covers all the lighting features. There's a lot here, so hopefully this helps. On the top side, we have the USB charging port. On the bottom side, there's a 2-way deep carry clip. And at the very end, a strong magnetic tail cap. Great for hands-free use with the side lights. And that wraps up all the features of the HD01 flashlight lineup. Let's take a look at the size and weight of the Wurkkos HD01. First, weight. It comes in at just 94 grams. That's very light. You'll barely notice it in your pocket. The HD01 and the UV version both come in at 111 millimeters, or about 4.3 inches long. The Pro model is just slightly bigger, measuring 115 millimeters, roughly 4.5 inches. So overall, the difference is pretty minimal, with the Pro being just a little taller. Width is 26 millimeters, right around 1 inch. Overall, it's slim, compact, and very pocketable. Here it is next to some currency for scale. And beside a credit card for reference. Now looking at all the HD01 models side by side, the standard and the UV versions are basically identical in size. The Pro is just a touch taller. And here's a quick comparison with a few other flat style lights I've reviewed. This footage is from my U7 review, so the lineup order might look a little different. But as you can see, the Wurkkos HD01 is definitely on the smaller side compared to other flat style flashlights. Great features and size so far, but how's the runtime? Starting on turbo. At about 1 minute 20 seconds, it steps down to high. I spent hours watching this light slowly die so you don't have to. If you appreciate the real-world data, hitting that subscribe button means a lot. It holds high for a while, which is good. Then around the 55-minute mark, it drops to medium. About a minute later, it starts dimming again and shuts off at 57 minutes. That's pretty disappointing. I recharged it and ran the test again just to confirm. Same results. I've said it before, flat-shaped flashlights don't usually perform well in these tests. There's just not enough battery to keep up with the output. Steps down at 1 minute 20 seconds. The good thing is, it can hold high mode for a pretty long time, and that's definitely a plus. Drops to medium around 55 minutes and shuts off at about 57. And there was still some battery left after shutdown, so low voltage protection is working. Bottom line, the HD01 is a versatile, slim, everyday carry light, even if the turbo runtime leaves a bit to be desired. If you're choosing between them, the Pro is your best bet for a do-it-all tool. What's your take? Do you value all these features, or do you prioritize battery life? Let me know down in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.